Once upon a time, in a bustling village nestled between misty mountains and a sparkling river, lived a boy named Arjun. Arjun was no ordinary boy. He was a dreamer, a seeker, and a little bit of a rebel. His family, however, was deeply traditional. They wanted him to follow the path of his ancestors, to become a farmer, marry young, and live a simple life. But Arjun's heart yearned for something more. He wanted to understand the mysteries of the universe, to find a guru who could teach him the secrets of life. One night, after yet another argument with his parents about his impractical dreams, Arjun packed a small bag, left a note, and ran away. The moonlit forest seemed to whisper promises of adventure as he ventured into the unknown. Days turned into weeks, and just as hunger and exhaustion began to gnaw at him, Arjun stumbled upon a mysterious ashram. Its gates were adorned with glowing symbols, and a man with a long, flowing beard stood at the entrance. "Welcome, seeker," the man said with a warm smile. "I am Guru Rudra. I have been expecting you." Arjun's heart leapt with joy. Finally, he had found his guru. But little did he know, this was only the beginning of a journey filled with danger, betrayal, and magic beyond his wildest dreams. Guru Rudra's ashram was unlike anything Arjun had ever seen. The air shimmered with an otherworldly glow, and the trees seemed to hum with ancient wisdom. Arjun was given a small hut to live in and was told to meditate for hours each day. At first, he was in awe of the guru's teachings. Rudra spoke of cosmic energy, divine powers, and the ability to summon gods. But as days turned into weeks, Arjun began to notice strange things. The other disciples seemed almost robotic, their eyes vacant as they chanted mantras. One night, unable to sleep, Arjun wandered the ashram grounds and overheard a conversation between Rudra and a shadowy figure. "The boy is ready," Rudra said. "Once he performs the ritual, the goddess will grant us her power, and we can rule this world." Arjun's heart raced. Was this why Rudra had taken him in? Was he just a pawn in some sinister plan? Before he could process what he'd heard, Rudra appeared behind him, his once kind eyes now cold and menacing. "You were not supposed to hear that, Arjun," Rudra said, gripping his shoulder tightly. "But no matter. Tomorrow, you will perform the ritual. If you refuse, your family will pay the price." Terrified and conflicted, Arjun nodded. He had no choice but to play along, for now. The next evening, the ashram was bathed in an eerie red light. A massive fire pit had been dug in the center, and strange symbols were drawn in the dirt around it. Arjun was dressed in white robes and given a golden bowl filled with herbs and oils. "Chant these words," Rudra instructed, handing him a scroll, "and pour the contents of the bowl into the fire. Do not falter, or the consequences will be dire." Arjun's hands trembled as he began the ritual. The words felt heavy on his tongue, and the air grew thick with tension. As he poured the bowl into the flames, the fire roared to life, twisting and turning into the shape of a woman. The goddess had arrived. Her eyes burned with fury as she turned to Rudra. "You dare summon me for your selfish gains?" she thundered. With a wave of her hand, Rudra was engulfed in flames, his screams echoing through the night. Arjun fell to his knees, terrified, but the goddess's gaze softened as she looked at him. "You were deceived, child," she said, "but your heart is pure. For your courage, I grant you a gift." She touched his forehead, and a surge of energy coursed through him. Arjun felt power unlike anything he had ever known. "Use it wisely," the goddess said, before vanishing into the night. Arjun was now alone, with mystical powers and a world of possibilities ahead of him. But he couldn't shake the feeling that his journey was far from over. With newfound powers, Arjun left the ashram behind. He could now control the elements, summoning fire, water, and wind with a mere thought. But he had no idea how to use these abilities. As he wandered through the forest, he stumbled upon a village under siege by a pack of monstrous wolves. The villagers begged for his help. Arjun hesitated. He had never fought before, but remembering the goddess's words, he stepped forward. With a wave of his hand, he summoned a wall of fire, driving the wolves away. The villagers hailed him as a hero, but Arjun felt uneasy. What if he couldn't control his powers next time? What if he hurt someone by accident? As he left the village, a mysterious figure approached him. A girl with piercing green eyes and a mischievous smile. "Nice trick with the fire," she said, "but you've got a lot to learn. Want some help?" Arjun nodded, and the girl introduced herself as Mira. Together, they set off on a journey to uncover the true purpose of his powers. Mira was unlike anyone Arjun had ever met. She was fearless, clever, and always one step ahead. She taught him how to harness his powers, turning them into tools rather than weapons. But as they grew closer, Arjun began to notice strange things about her. One night while camping under the stars, Arjun woke to find Mira rummaging through his bag. "What are you doing?" he asked, his voice tinged with suspicion. Mira froze, then sighed. "I was looking for this," she said, holding up a glowing crystal the goddess had left him. "Why?" Arjun demanded. "Because," Mira said, her eyes narrowing. "This crystal is the key to unlocking the ultimate power, and I need it." Before Arjun could react, Mira vanished into the night, leaving him alone once again. Arjun followed the trail of clues Mira had left behind, leading him to a dense, uncharted jungle. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and the cries of unseen creatures. After days of trekking, he stumbled upon an ancient temple, its stone walls covered in moss and glowing runes. The entrance was guarded by a massive stone door, etched with a riddle. "Only the pure of heart may enter, for the impure shall perish." Arjun took a deep breath and placed his hand on the door. It creaked open, revealing a labyrinth of traps and puzzles. Using his powers, he summoned water to extinguish flaming arrows, wind to unlock hidden mechanisms, and fire to light his way through dark passages. Each challenge tested not only his abilities but also his resolve. At the heart of the temple, he found Mira standing before a colossal stone door, her hands glowing as she tried to unlock it. She turned, startled as Arjun approached. "You don't understand," she said, her voice trembling. "I need this power to save my family." Arjun hesitated, torn between trust and suspicion. Before he could respond, the ground shook, and the temple began to collapse. They had no choice but to work together to escape. As Arjun and Mira fled the collapsing temple, they were confronted by a powerful spirit, a guardian of the crystal. It materialized as a shimmering figure with eyes like stars and a voice that echoed through their minds. "Why do you seek the crystal's power?" it demanded. Mira fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "My family is cursed by a dark sorcerer. I thought the crystal could save them." The spirit turned to Arjun. "And you? Do you seek power for yourself?" Arjun shook his head. "I only want to understand my abilities and use them to help others." The spirit studied them for a moment before speaking. "The crystal is a test, a way to determine who is worthy of its power. Only those who seek it for selfless reasons may wield it." Arjun realized that Mira's desperation had clouded her judgment, but her heart was in the right place. He extended a hand to her. "We can face this together." Mira nodded, her eyes filled with gratitude. The spirit revealed that the dark sorcerer who cursed Mira's family was still alive and growing stronger. To prove their worth, Arjun and Mira would have to defeat him. The spirit transported them to a desolate wasteland where the sorcerer resided. The sky was dark and the ground was littered with bones. The sorcerer, a towering figure cloaked in shadows, laughed as they approached. "Foolish children," he sneered. "You cannot defeat me." Arjun and Mira stood side by side, their powers intertwining. Arjun summoned a whirlwind of fire, while Mira created a shield of water to protect them. The battle was fierce, with the sorcerer unleashing waves of dark energy. But together, they were unstoppable. Arjun's flames burned away the sorcerer's shadows, while Mira's water purified the land. With a final, combined attack, they vanquished the sorcerer, breaking the curse that had plagued Mira's family. As the sorcerer's darkness dissipated, the spirit reappeared, its form now radiant with light. "You have proven yourselves worthy," it said. "The crystal's power is now yours to share." The crystal split into two, each piece glowing with a soft, golden light. Arjun and Mira each took one, feeling a surge of energy and clarity. The spirit showed them a vision of the future, a world where their powers could bring peace and healing, but it also warned of challenges ahead. "The path of a hero is never easy," the spirit said, "but together you can overcome anything." Arjun and Mira exchanged a determined look. They had started as strangers, but now they were partners, bound by trust and a shared purpose. Arjun and Mira returned to the village as heroes. The villagers celebrated their victory, but Arjun knew their journey was far from over. With their newfound powers and unbreakable bond, they set off on new adventures. They helped rebuild villages, protected the innocent from danger, and uncovered ancient mysteries. Along the way, Arjun learned that true power came not from his abilities but from his heart. Mira too found redemption and a sense of belonging. As they stood on a hilltop, watching the sunrise, Arjun turned to Mira. "Where to next?" she smiled. "Wherever the wind takes us." And so, the boy who once ran away from home became a guardian of the world, proving that even the smallest dreamer can achieve greatness when guided by courage, friendship, and a pure heart.